They never thought it would come to this. 4 women, once bound by faith, now facing each other across a courtroom floor. The air is heavy with silence, broken only by the rustle of papers and the faint buzz of cameras waiting to catch every tear, every glare, every whispered confession. Kody Brown sits at the center of it all, a man once worshipped as a husband, now judged as an empire of secrets begins to crumble. The courtroom is quiet, too quiet, the kind of silence that presses against your chest until you can feel your heartbeat echoing in your ears. The walls are beige and cold. The air faintly smells of varnished wood and old coffee, and the buzzing lights above hum like an impatient clock counting down to something inevitable. Cameras line the back of the room, their tiny red dots blinking like watchful eyes. This isn't just any trial. This is the trial, where the Brown family finally confronts itself. Christine Brown sits at the plaintiff's table, her chin high, her hands clasped tightly in front of her. The years have carved strength into her face, but her eyes betray the storm beneath. Across from her sits Kody, his expression unreadable. Jaw clenched, the golden curls once full of charisma, now dulled by sleepless nights. Robyn sits behind him, shoulders tense, whispering prayers beneath her breath. Janelle and Meri keep their distance, both torn between loyalty and survival. The judge enters, a woman in her 50s with eyes that look like they've seen too much. She takes her seat, adjusts her glasses, and taps the gavel once. The echo is sharp, final. Court is now in session, she says. And the whispering dies instantly. Christine's attorney stands first. Your Honor, this is not just a case about property or custody. This is a case about betrayal, manipulation, and emotional abuse hidden beneath the mask of faith. The words hang in the air, heavy, cameras flash, reporters scribble. Kody shifts in his seat but doesn't speak. The attorney walks toward the jury. For years, these women believed in a shared dream, a spiritual marriage, a covenant of love and unity. But behind the cameras, behind the smiles, there was something darker. She points at Kody. A man who used faith as control, affection as currency, and promises as chains. The defense rises quickly. Objection. Character assassination. Kody's lawyer snaps. The judge raises an eyebrow. Overruled. Continue, the gallery murmurs. Even those who thought they knew the Browns now lean forward. They've never seen this version of the story before. Christine's voice finally breaks the tension. He told us love was eternal, she says, soft but steady. But eternity shouldn't feel like a prison. Her words slice through the air. Kody flinches. For a second, you can almost see the memories flicker behind his eyes. Weddings, laughter, children, then years of quiet resentment. Flashbacks slip into the narration like memories bleeding through old film. We see Christine standing in a desert sunset years ago, her smile wide, her heart full. She believed in the dream of sister wives, the unity, the faith, the promise that love could multiply instead of divide. But as the years unfolded, that promise cracked. Kody grew distant. Robyn arrived. And suddenly, love wasn't shared. It was rationed. Back in the courtroom, the tension thickens. Kody's lawyer clears his throat. Mr. Brown was a husband to multiple women under mutual consent and religious understanding. If there was unhappiness, it was shared responsibility. Christine's attorney doesn't flinch. Shared responsibility doesn't mean shared pain, counselor. The courtroom ripples with quiet gasps. Christine looks at Kody directly now. Do you remember what you told me the night I left Flagstaff? She asks. Kody doesn't respond. The silence stretches. Finally, she answers for him. You said I was breaking the family apart. But the truth is, it was already broken. You just refused to see the cracks. Kody's jaw tightens. You're rewriting history? He mutters. The judge raises a hand. Mr. Brown, you'll have your turn. The next witness is called Janelle. She hesitates before standing, her steps small but deliberate. When she takes the stand, she looks like someone carrying the weight of both sides. I don't want to hurt anyone, she says, voice trembling. But I can't lie anymore. Her testimony is calm at first. She talks about shared dinners, late-night talks, laughter over burnt casseroles. But then her voice cracks. When things changed, I thought it was just stress. And then I realized it wasn't stress. It was control. Kody started setting rules about visits, money, even conversations. He'd tell us it was God's plan, but it felt like his plan. Cody's face flushes red. He leans toward his lawyer. She's twisting everything, he hisses. But Janelle keeps going. He made us believe that obedience was love. And for a long time, we believed him. The room is so quiet, you can hear the ticking of the wall clock. Robyn's eyes well with tears. She whispers, "It wasn't supposed to be like this." Her hand trembles as she reaches for Cody's, but he doesn't take it. His stare is fixed on Christine, full of anger and something else, fear. The judge clears her throat. "Mr. Brown, you will have an opportunity to respond, but I suggest you listen carefully. This court values truth, not theatrics." Christine exhales, her voice softer now. "Do you know what it's like to share a husband with 3 women and still feel completely alone? To sit next to someone who preaches unity but practices favoritism?" She glances toward Robyn. "I used to think she was the chosen one. Now I think she was just the last one who believed him." The audience shifts, uncomfortable. This isn't gossip anymore, it's confession. Christine's attorney steps closer to the bench. "Your Honor, we will provide documented evidence, financial records, recordings, and journal entries that illustrate the manipulation and emotional distress inflicted over years." Kody finally stands. His voice booms. "You think I'm the villain? You think I wanted this circus? I gave everything to these women." His words echo through the room. "I built homes, I raised kids, I tried to keep the faith alive. But they turned it into war." The judge slams the gavel. "Sit down, Mr. Brown." Kody glares but obeys. The courtroom buzzes with whispers again. The tension refuses to break. Reporters outside can already be heard through the glass, shouting questions, flashing lights. Inside, the women who once shared a life now share a battlefield. Janelle steps down from the stand, tears in her eyes. Christine's hand twitches as if to comfort her, but she stops herself. There's no going back now. The judge sighs, glancing at the clock. "We'll take a short recess. This court will reconvene in 15 minutes." The gavel strikes again, but no one moves. The air feels frozen, electric. Robyn turns to Christine. "Why are you doing this?" she whispers. Christine meets her gaze. "Because someone has to tell the truth." As Christine walks toward the exit, the cameras follow her. Outside the doors, the hallway buzzes with reporters, microphones, chaos. But Christine doesn't stop. She whispers under her breath, almost to herself. "For years, I believed silence was strength. Not anymore." Back inside, Kody stays seated. He runs a hand through his hair, staring down at the empty chair where Christine sat. The same chair that once sat beside him in church, family dinners, life decisions. Now it's just wood and emptiness. Robyn sits beside him, whispering, "We can still fix this." Kody shakes his head slowly. "You don't fix something that's already burned to ashes." The camera pans out, the courtroom now half empty, echoes of broken vows still hanging in the air. The judge's bench stands tall and cold, waiting for the next storm to begin. And somewhere in that silence, Christine's voice narrates softly, reflective, almost haunting. "We all thought love could save us, but sometimes love just hides the truth until it's too late." Fade out. The next morning, the courthouse feels colder. Reporters swarm the steps, cameras flashing like lightning. Every question thrown at Christine echoes through the marble halls. Are the allegations true? Did Kody manipulate the family? Is there more to come? But Christine says nothing. Her silence speaks louder than any answer. Inside, the courtroom hums with anticipation. The gallery is full, the air charged with whispers and tension. Kody walks in first today, his expression carved from stone. He avoids Christine's gaze, but his eyes flicker with something raw. Fear, anger, maybe both. Robyn trails behind him, her hand brushing his arm, as if trying to keep him from collapsing under the weight of his own image. Christine enters last. The crowd quiets. She looks different, calmer, colder, determined. The judge calls the session to order. "We will resume testimony and evidence presentation," she says. The words sound routine, but everyone knows this is the day everything changes. Christine's lawyer stands. "Your Honor, we'd like to submit new evidence, an audio recording recovered from a personal device belonging to Mrs. Brown." The judge nods. "Proceed." The courtroom darkens slightly as the recording is played. Static fills the speakers, followed by voices. Muffled at first, then clear. It's Kody's voice. "You think you can just leave? You think walking away means freedom? I made this family, and without me, you're nothing." Christine's face stays still, but her hands tremble slightly. The room gasps. Kody jumps up. "That was taken out of context." His voice cracks like glass. The judge slams the gavel. "Sit down, Mr. Brown." He obeys, but his composure is gone. Robyn's eyes dart across the room, desperate, as if searching for a way to undo what everyone just heard. Christine's attorney lets the silence hang before speaking again. "Mrs. Brown recorded that conversation on the night she decided to leave. It wasn't for revenge. It was for survival." Christine finally speaks. "I wanted proof. Proof that what I felt wasn't just in my head. That the man I loved had turned into someone I didn't recognize. The audience feels it. The heaviness, the ache. This isn't gossip anymore. It's grief." Kody's lawyer tries to recover. Even if that recording is authentic, it doesn't prove abuse. It proves emotion, frustration, things every family goes through, but the damage is done. The judge exhales. The court will admit the recording as evidence. Continue. The attorney steps closer to the jury. "You heard it. This is not the voice of a husband in pain. It's the voice of control, of ownership. Love doesn't say, 'You're nothing without me.' It says, 'You're free, even if I lose you.'" Christine looks down, fighting tears. Robyn suddenly stands. "You don't understand," she shouts, her voice breaking. The courtroom startles. He's not a monster. He just wanted to hold the family together. The judge frowns. "Mrs. Brown, please sit down." Robyn's lip trembles. He's lost everything because of this. Christine looks at her quietly. "We all lost something, Robyn. The difference is, some of us lost ourselves first." The tension slices through the room. The judge allows a recess, but nobody moves. Reporters scribble frantically, cameras zoom in. When the break finally begins, Kody storms into the hallway, followed by Robyn. "They're turning me into a villain," he growls. "They're making me look like I destroyed everything." Robyn pleads softly. "Then fight back, but don't lose your temper again. That's what they're waiting for." He slams his hand against the wall. "They want to see me break. I won't give them that." But the cracks in his voice betray him. Back inside, Christine sits with her lawyer. "He'll twist everything," she says. "He always does." The lawyer nods. "Then we'll show them something he can't twist." When court resumes, the attorney introduces Exhibit B, a financial document. "Your Honor, these are joint accounts controlled solely by Mr. Brown, used to distribute funds unevenly among the wives. Notice the discrepancies. Thousands funneled into one household while the other struggled." The courtroom murmurs. Christine's face stays neutral, but Janelle, seated in the back, looks stunned. She wasn't expecting this. Kody's lawyer objects again. "Speculation? These are personal family finances, not criminal." The judge raises her hand. The objection is noted but overruled. "Proceed," Christine's attorney continues. "When love and faith are used to justify imbalance, it becomes exploitation. This wasn't a marriage of equals. It was an empire, with one king and 4 crowns made of glass." Kody shakes his head. "You don't know what you're talking about," he mutters, but his voice lacks conviction. Christine finally turns to him, her voice steady, quiet, devastating. "You made us believe that obedience was devotion. But devotion shouldn't mean losing yourself. The atmosphere tightens again. The judge calls the next witness, Meri. She hesitates, her eyes glistening, but she walks to the stand. The hush in the room is suffocating. Mrs. Brown. The attorney begins gently. You've been silent for a long time. Can you tell the court what silence cost you? Meri's lip trembles. It cost me everything, she says. I used to believe silence kept the peace. I thought I was being loyal, but loyalty turned into invisibility. I stayed so long, I forgot who I was. A single tear falls. Even Christine looks moved. This isn't rivalry now. It's shared pain. Kody lowers his head. For the first time, he looks small. The attorney presses softly. Did you ever feel free to leave? Meri hesitates. No, not really. He never said I couldn't, but he made sure I believed I shouldn't. The audience exhales collectively. That's not just emotional, it's psychological. Kody can't hold it in anymore. He stands. That's not fair. You all act like I'm some kind of monster. His voice cracks again. I loved you all. I tried to give you everything. The judge's voice cuts through. Mr. Brown, control yourself. But he's unraveling. They're rewriting the story. They don't remember the good. The kids, the home, the years. None of that matters now. Christine's voice is soft, but it silences him. The good doesn't erase the harm, Kody. He stops. The weight of her words lands heavy. The judge finally adjourns for the day. Court will reconvene tomorrow morning. The gavel strikes, final and echoing. Reporters rush the hallways again. Cameras flash. Kody disappears down one corridor, Christine another. Robyn stays behind, motionless, lost in thought. Later, in her confessional-style voiceover, Christine speaks softly over slow, haunting music. I used to pray for peace. Now I just pray for truth. Peace doesn't come when you win. It comes when you stop pretending everything's okay. Bold retention line. You don't heal by forgetting. You heal by facing what hurt you. Outside, night settles over the courthouse. Rain starts to fall, soft at first, then steady, washing over the steps like tears the family never shed. The media vans hum, headlines already forming. The Brown trial exposes hidden abuse. Christine breaks silence, Kody's empire on the edge. Inside one dark car parked nearby, a figure watches quietly. Someone who hasn't yet spoken, but will soon. A family friend, or maybe one of the older children, holding a secret that could change everything. The camera lingers on the courthouse doors as they swing shut. The storm rages outside, thunder rolling across the desert sky. Fade out. The next morning, the courtroom is tense, almost suffocating. The lights seem harsher, casting long shadows across the polished wood floors. Everyone knows today is critical. Today, secrets that have festered for years will finally see the light. Christine enters first, her steps measured, her face calm, but her eyes alight with determination. She glances at the jury as if daring them not to look away. Kody arrives next, flanked by Robyn, his face set in a mask of stoicism. But the tightness around his eyes betrays him. Even the strongest mask cannot hide fear entirely. Janelle and Meri follow quietly, both aware that the walls of their carefully constructed family are crumbling. The judge clears her throat. We will resume with witness testimony. Please call the next witness. The attorney rises. Your Honor, we would like to call the family accountant, Mr. Thompson. The courtroom murmurs. Financial documents may not seem dramatic, but in the hands of the Brown family, money has always been power. And power, as everyone knows, can destroy. Mr. Thompson approaches the stand, a middle-aged man with nervous energy. I've managed the family's accounts for over 10 years, he begins, flipping through his binder. And I've never seen anything like this. He holds up a ledger. These transactions show a pattern. Funds directed toward one household far exceeding the others. Repeatedly, consistently, and with no explanation, Kody sits rigid. Robyn fidgets. Christine leans slightly forward, her eyes sharp. The attorney continues, Mr. Thompson, in your professional opinion, does this indicate favoritism or manipulation? Thompson swallows. It's manipulation. Someone was controlling who had access to what, who could thrive, and who would be forced to struggle. Gasps ripple through the courtroom. Kody leans forward, whispering furiously to his lawyer. This isn't true. It can't be. But the ledger lies open for all to see. Numbers don't lie. Christine's voice breaks the silence. This is what we lived with every day. Struggling for money, for attention, for equality, and pretending it was love. The next witness is someone nobody expected. Meri's sister, Leela. She stands in the gallery for a moment, taking a deep breath before walking to the stand. The judge nods. Ms. Leela, Christine's attorney begins, you were in the family home often. Can you tell the court what you witnessed regarding interactions between Kody and the wives? Lila hesitates. Her voice trembles. I saw tension that shouldn't have existed. Arguments about trivial things that felt huge. I overheard Kody telling Robyn that she needed to be careful about what she shared, that even Christine didn't need to know everything. And sometimes he would dismiss Meri's feelings entirely. I don't think he realized how damaging it was. The courtroom is silent. Even the judge looks uneasy. Kody leans back, jaw tight. Robyn bites her lip. Christine's hands shake slightly as she writes notes. The attorney presses on. Ms. Lila, were there times when you saw this escalate? Yes, Lila whispers, almost in tears. I remember one night, Christine had been crying for hours after an argument. Kody told her she was being dramatic and needed to accept the way things were. I could see her breaking inside Christine's eyes fill with tears. She takes a deep breath, keeping her composure. That's the night I realized something had to change. I couldn't keep living like that. Kody shakes his head. This is all lies, he roars. The judge slams her gavel. Order. Mr. Brown, you will speak. When addressed, Robyn whispers to him, breathe. Don't give them the reaction they want. The tension builds, thick and suffocating, as the attorney calls the next piece of evidence. Photographs. Not casual family pictures, but images that reveal emotional breakdowns, private moments, and confrontations captured in raw, unguarded reality. One photo shows Christine sitting alone on the porch at night, her face buried in her hands. Another captures Janelle crying in the living room, Robyn nearby, tension visible. And yet, another shows Meri staring at Kody, a mixture of fear and disappointment in her eyes. The room is heavy with unspoken truths. Kody looks away, covering his face with his hands. Robyn presses a tissue to her eyes. Christine's attorney steps forward. These images aren't just photographs, they say softly. They're proof of the emotional strain, the imbalance, and the control that has defined this family for years. No one can claim ignorance anymore. The atmosphere is electric. Murmurs ripple through the gallery. Reporters scribble furiously. And then, the most shocking witness yet is called. A family friend who has been silent all these years. He steps forward, a man in his 40s with a weary expression. I've watched this family from the outside, he begins. I thought it was a loving, supportive environment. But over time, I realized there was manipulation, favoritism, and pressure. Kody wasn't cruel intentionally, but his actions caused deep emotional wounds to all of the wives. Christine's eyes narrow. You finally understand, she says softly. The courtroom is silent. Kody swallows hard. His voice comes out low, shaky. I tried to do my best. I never wanted this. The judge leans forward. Everyone in this courtroom is responsible for telling the truth. That includes acknowledging the impact of your actions, Mr. Brown. The next testimony hits like a hammer. Text messages and emails between Kody and each of the wives are presented. Words meant to manipulate, commands disguised as guidance, apologies that reveal guilt. Every message is a thread, weaving a tapestry of control and emotional tension. Robyn looks down, horrified. I didn't see it that way, she whispers. Christine leans forward. We saw it clearly. That's why we're here. The session edges toward a climax. Christine's attorney brings out the final bombshell, a recorded conversation that nobody expected. The audio is from a year ago, when tensions were at their peak. Kody's voice is calm, almost casual, but the words are sharp. You need to remember your place. I built this family. I can take it all away if I need to. Don't make me do it, the room gasps. Robyn covers her mouth. Janelle's hands shake. Meri stares straight ahead, frozen. Kody's jaw tightens, eyes darting. Christine remains calm, but inside, every memory comes flooding back. She remembers nights of isolation, tears shed in silence, promises broken, and emotional manipulation disguised as care. The judge slams the gavel. We will pause here for today. Court is adjourned until tomorrow morning. As the courtroom empties, Christine turns to the camera as if speaking to the audience. For years, we believed silence was protection. Now, silence would be betrayal. And tomorrow, the truth will hit even harder. Outside, the storm clouds gather. Rain begins to fall, heavier than before. The courthouse steps are slick, reflecting the flashing lights of reporters and cameras. Inside, Kody sits quietly, staring at the floor, the weight of exposure pressing down on him. Robyn leans over, whispering, "Tomorrow could change everything." He doesn't answer. He just sits, trapped in a storm of his own making, knowing the next day will either destroy or redeem him. The courtroom lights dim. The scene fades to black. The courthouse is tense as sunlight streams through tall windows, casting long shadows across the polished floors. Every step echoes like a drumbeat of anticipation. Everyone knows today is not just another day in court, it is the day the walls of the Brown family begin to crumble completely. Christine enters first, calm and collected. Her eyes are sharp, scanning the courtroom, assessing every face. The jury, already charged with yesterday's revelations, watches her like a hawk. Kody follows shortly, Robyn at his side, his face a mask of controlled fury. But the slightest tremor in his hands betrays him. The judge calls the session to order. We will continue testimony. Please proceed with the next witness. Christine's attorney rises, a sense of purpose in every movement. Your Honor, the next witness is a former nanny who spent years in the Brown household, observing interactions firsthand. She will speak about emotional patterns, favoritism, and manipulations that went unnoticed or unspoken for too long. The courtroom shifts in silence as the nanny approaches the stand. Her hands shake slightly, but her voice is firm. I wasn't supposed to see or hear much, she begins, but what I observed stayed with me. The children were often used as pawns to maintain control. Decisions weren't made based on love. They were made to ensure obedience. Kody's jaw tightens, and Robyn looks away. Christine leans forward, her expression unreadable. The attorney presses on. Can you give examples of how control was exercised? Yes, she says, her voice steady. I remember one afternoon, Christine had requested extra time for the children. Kody dismissed it outright, claiming it would disrupt family balance. On another occasion, Robyn was told to withhold information from Christine. And Meri? She was often ignored, her opinions dismissed as irrelevant. Gasps echo through the courtroom. Kody fidgets. Robyn whispers something urgently to him, but the words are lost. Christine's voice is calm, almost clinical. Every decision, every word, every action was about maintaining a hierarchy. It wasn't family. It was a throne room. The attorney introduces Exhibit C, a stack of text messages and emails previously hidden, exposing manipulation, favoritism, and subtle threats. Christine reads one aloud. Do exactly as I say, or everything you've built can disappear in an instant. Robyn's hand trembles as she glances at Kody. I didn't see it like that, she whispers. The courtroom is silent as Christine continues. We weren't just wives, we were experiment subjects, living under the guise of faith. And for years, we didn't know how to fight back. Kody rises suddenly, voice sharp and defensive. This is all exaggeration. You're twisting every word, every action. I gave everything to you all. The judge slams her gavel. Sit down, Mr. Brown. You will have your turn. Continue, Mrs. Brown. The next witness is called Janelle. She walks slowly to the stand, the weight of emotion pressing on her shoulders. Her hands shake. She takes a deep breath. I stayed quiet because I thought it was loyalty, she begins. But loyalty isn't obeying someone blindly. Loyalty is being honest about your feelings, about your pain. And for years, I wasn't honest even with myself. Christine's eyes glisten as she listens. You're not alone, she whispers under her breath. The attorney leans forward. Janelle, what did you witness about the dynamic between Kody and the other wives? Janelle swallows hard. Favoritism, emotional manipulation. Robyn, she was often placed above the rest of us, and we weren't allowed to question it. Meri was ignored. Christine was constantly undermined, and every time someone tried to speak up, Kody framed it as disobedience or ingratitude. Kody shakes his head, voice quivering. You're all exaggerating. I did everything for you. Everything. Christine's attorney now steps forward, holding a new piece of evidence, a personal journal kept secretly by Christine. Your Honor, these entries document the emotional struggles, manipulation, and control exercised over the years. They illustrate the impact of Kody's actions on each wife, on the children, and on the family as a whole. Christine reads aloud, her voice calm but tremulous. I cried alone in the dark, wondering if anyone would ever understand. I loved him, but I hated the power he had over me. And the worst part? I knew we weren't alone. Everyone felt it, but no one dared to speak. The courtroom is silent. Kody's hands clench. Robyn bites her lip, avoiding eye contact. Janelle looks down, eyes glistening. Meri swallows, trembling. The tension builds as Christine continues reading. I realized then that surviving wasn't about staying together. It was about standing up. And today, standing up means facing him here, in front of everyone, exposing what's been hidden for far too long. The next testimony is explosive. A family friend who has remained neutral until now. His words cut deep. I thought Kody loved you all equally, he begins. But I watched him manipulate situations, favoring one wife over the others, controlling decisions subtly, using faith as justification. The emotional toll was immense, and yet, no one could openly oppose him without fear of backlash. Robyn turns pale, whispering, I didn't. Christine's voice is quiet, sharp. No one here is innocent. But some of us refuse to be silent anymore. The courtroom is on edge. The jury leans forward. Cameras capture every tremor, every glance, every expression. The climax of the session is sudden and brutal. Another piece of evidence is introduced, a secret audio recording from the family home. This one is older, capturing a heated confrontation between Kody and Christine that had never been revealed. You think I'm against you? Kody's voice booms on the recording. I've built everything for you. And now you betray me? You want to destroy what I created? Christine's recorded response is steady but trembling. I'm not destroying you. I'm freeing myself. And if you can't understand that, maybe you never loved us at all. The room is stunned. Gasps ripple. Robyn covers her mouth, eyes wide. Kody sits frozen, staring at the floor. The judge pounds the gavel. Court is adjourned until tomorrow. This session has provided significant testimony and evidence. Everyone is reminded to remain calm and respectful outside this courtroom. As the crowd begins to leave, Christine whispers to herself, almost a mantra, we're only halfway through. The rest of the truth is coming outside. Rain falls harder, turning the courthouse steps into mirrors, reflecting flashing cameras and frantic reporters. Kody sits silently in the back of his car, Robyn beside him, the storm outside matching the storm inside. Christine walks alone through the courthouse corridor, the weight of what has been revealed pressing down, but also a strange sense of relief settling over her. Fade out? The courtroom is tense, almost suffocating. Even the sunlight streaming through tall windows seems muted, filtered through clouds that mirror the storm inside. Everyone knows today is a turning point. The walls are witnesses to whispered betrayals and long-held grudges, now exploding into a public reckoning. Christine enters first, composed yet alert, like a general walking onto a battlefield. Her eyes scan the jury and the room at large. but they always return to Kody. There's no malice in her gaze, only determination and clarity. Kody follows, flanked by Robyn, his jaw tight, hands clenching the bench before him. Even he knows today will not be easy. The judge calls the court to order. We will continue with testimony. Please proceed. Christine's attorney rises, a calm but commanding presence. Your Honor, today we will provide further testimony and evidence demonstrating not only the emotional manipulation within this family, but the psychological toll it has taken over the years. The first witness is a longtime family friend who has observed the dynamics closely for years. His voice is hesitant but firm. I always admired the idea of a big, blended family. But over time, I realized something was off. Kody often favored one wife in decision-making, undermined the others subtly, and created tension that seemed to serve his own sense of control. The gallery shifts. Robyn avoids eye contact, fidgeting. Christine listens closely, her hands folded, absorbing every word. The attorney continues. Did you witness instances where the children were affected by this dynamic? Yes, the witness responds. I saw the children walking on eggshells, unsure how to speak, what to say, what to believe. They loved their father, but they feared the consequences of disagreement, and the wives carried that weight daily. Kody stands abruptly. That's not true. I've always tried to provide guidance and stability. The judge slams the gavel. Sit down, Mr. Brown. Let the witness finish. Christine remains silent, absorbing the testimony, her gaze piercing. She knows the truth is unfolding piece by piece, each revelation cutting deeper than the last. The next witness is Janelle, stepping forward with trembling hands. I stayed quiet for years, she begins. I thought silence was loyalty, but silence became complicity. I couldn't stay silent any longer. She recounts countless moments of emotional strain, favoritism, and subtle manipulation. Kody listens, his expression darkening, but he doesn't interrupt it. The weight of her words seems to press on him, unseen but inescapable. The attorney introduces Exhibit D, a series of recorded conversations. The first recording plays softly at first, then grows louder. Kody's voice is calm, almost casual. You need to remember your place. I built this family. I can take it all away if I need to. Don't make me do it. Christine's recorded response, steady but firm. I'm not destroying you. I'm freeing myself. And if you can't understand that, maybe you never loved us at all. The room is silent. Gasps ripple through the gallery. Robyn presses a hand to her mouth. Janelle stares at the floor. Kody's face tightens, jaw locked. Christine sits, composed but trembling slightly inside. The courtroom air grows heavy as the attorney introduces the next witness, a counselor who has been working with the family's children. The emotional and psychological impact is profound. The counselor says, children raised in a household where favoritism and emotional manipulation exist often internalize fear, guilt, and confusion. Even subtle patterns can have long-lasting effects, Kody fidgets. Robyn whispers quietly to him, stay calm. Don't react. The counselor continues, I've observed a pattern. The children's emotional responses often mirrored the tensions between the wives. They learned early to navigate unspoken rules, guessing who was favored that day, who would receive attention, who would be ignored. This is not a healthy environment for anyone, especially not for children. Christine's face remains composed, though a flicker of sorrow passes through her eyes. She has long suspected this, but hearing it confirmed by a professional sharpens the pain and clarity. Kody's lawyer stands, attempting to push back. This is hearsay. These are subjective opinions. The judge shakes her head. Testimony from a qualified professional is admissible and relevant. Continue. Christine's attorney leans forward. Your Honor, this testimony is only part of the picture. We have further evidence showing the systemic nature of emotional favoritism and manipulation within this family. The next exhibit is a series of private journal entries from each wife, kept hidden for years. Christine reads excerpts aloud. I cried alone in the dark, questioning my faith, my love, my worth. I believed obedience was devotion. But obedience became my cage. Janelle's words follow. I stayed silent because I thought it would protect the family. But protecting the family meant sacrificing myself. Meri's voice trembles through the reading. I tried to speak. I tried to matter. But every time I did, I was reminded I didn't. The gallery is quiet. Even Kody looks down, unable to respond. Robyn's hand trembles as she wipes tears from her eyes. The attorney now presents the most explosive evidence yet. Another audio recording, this time revealing Kody speaking directly to Robyn about withholding information from Christine. The words are calm but chilling. Make sure she doesn't know everything. She doesn't need to know. Some things are better left buried. The courtroom gasps. Robyn's face pales. Kody shifts in his seat, jaw tight, hands trembling. Christine's eyes narrow, piercing him silently. The judge pounds her gavel. Court will adjourn for a brief recess. Everyone remain in their seats. As the courtroom empties, Christine whispers softly to herself, "We are only halfway through. The truth is coming, and it will leave no one untouched." Outside, the rain has stopped, leaving the courthouse steps slick and reflective. Reporters huddle under umbrellas, cameras still flashing, but the storm inside the building eclipses any storm outside. Kody sits silently, Robyn beside him, both lost in the weight of exposure. His empire of control is cracking, and he knows the next days will decide whether he salvages what remains or loses everything. Fade out.